All right, let's talk about something that's a part of so many of our lives, but we don't always see it. We're going to dive into depression from two different angles: what it's like to experience it and what it's like to support someone going through it. So let's get started. This right here, this is really the core of what we're talking about today. It's so simple, but so powerful. It all comes down to connection, right? Just being there for each other and knowing that whatever you're facing, you are not on your own. Okay, this is a really, really important thing to get right from the start. Depression isn't always something you can see. It's not like a cast on a broken arm, you know? A lot of the time, it's hidden. It's an internal battle that can be happening behind a smile or a perfectly normal looking day. That's why we have to learn to look a little deeper. All right, so for part one, we're going to talk directly to anyone who might be in the middle of this right now. Let's try to understand this experience from the inside out. So take a look at these. You might see something here that feels familiar. Maybe one thing, maybe a few. And it's so important to know this isn't some rigid checklist where you have to tick every box. For some people, it's that bone-deep fatigue, you know? Not just I'm tired, but a total shutdown. For someone else, it might be that thing you used to love suddenly feels like nothing. It's like the color just drains out of everything. It's this heavy, heavy weight, and it looks different for everybody. Let's be absolutely clear about this, because this is probably one of the most harmful myths there is. This is not a lack of willpower. It is not about not trying hard enough. Depression is a legitimate, complex health condition, and that means it is never, ever a personal failure. And to really hammer that home, let's spell out what depression isn't. It's not weakness. It is not a choice to just not try. And wow, you definitely can't fix it by just being positive. Getting this is so crucial. It's the first step to actually being supportive, because it means you're seeing the struggle for what it really is. So what can help when things feel this hard? You know, a lot of the time, the hardest part is just that very first step. It could be reaching out to a professional, or it could be something as simple but as brave as turning to someone you trust and just saying the words, "I'm not okay." You don't even have to know why. And a big theme here is being kind to yourself, remembering that healing isn't a straight line. It's messy. There are good days and bad days, and that's okay. It's not a race. And this, please take this in. You don't need to have the right words. You don't need to be able to explain it perfectly. Your pain is valid. Full stop. Even when it's just a feeling you can't put a name to. Okay, now we're going to switch gears. Let's look at this from the other side. So part two is for anyone who's in a supporting role. The partners, the family, the friends. This is for you. You know, you can love someone more than anything and still have absolutely no idea what to do or say. And that feeling of being lost or helpless, it's real, and it's okay to feel that way. The goal here isn't to have all the answers or to be the fixer. It's just to be there. And look at these reactions. They're so common and honestly so understandable. Of course you want to fix the problem for someone you care about. And yeah, it can be frustrating or even scary when you can't. The trick is just to notice these feelings in yourself and not beat yourself up for them. Just acknowledging them is a huge first step to being a better support. This comparison is so powerful. Look at this stuff on the left. Phrases like, "I'm here for you." They're like opening a door. They invite connection without demanding anything. Now look at the right. Things like, "Just think positive." Even if you mean well, they tend to shut that door. They can make someone feel dismissed or like they're failing. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Supporting isn't about curing. It's about not letting go. Think of it this way. You're not the doctor, you're the anchor. Your job isn't to have the cure. It's to be a steady presence that says, "Hey, no matter what, I'm not going anywhere." Okay, so we've looked at this from both sides. Now for part three, let's pull it all together. What can we all do? How can we build a community where talking about this stuff isn't so hard? You can think of this as our collective game plan. It all starts with just talking about it, without fear, without judgment. That's how we chip away at the stigma. Then we learn a little more so we can show up with empathy instead of advice. And through it all, we have to remember this one crucial thing. A person is so much more than their depression, always. So really, it all boils down to this. If you're the one who's hurting today, please know you are not alone in this. And if you're the one supporting someone, know that your presence, just being there, can make an incredible difference. You're both so important in this story. This is such a powerful thought to end on. Talking about depression isn't what's contagious. The silence is. We get so afraid of saying the wrong thing that sometimes we say nothing at all. But that's silence. That's what creates isolation. That's the real danger. So, that leaves us with a question for you. Who can you start a conversation with today? Maybe it's a simple text to a friend to see how they're really doing. Maybe it's sharing something you heard here. Or maybe, just maybe, it's about having an honest conversation with yourself. Whatever it is, let's start talking. Thanks for listening.